back to Super Tuesday recap. It's Chris and Deep. I'm here. And there was no Flash episode this week, so we are here just to do Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 14, The Man Behind the Shield. Episode's so good, it doesn't even have a synopsis on IMDb, because why the fuck not, yo? Like,
it's just a picture of a microphone on the ground.
Yeah, listen, I was trying to figure out why there was no Flash or Legend of Tomorrow this week. I was like, come on, there's a Supergirl, there's an Arrow. Why the fuck you guys taking? Oh, you guys saw the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode early, and you realized it was probably best not to do something. Okay,
but you didn't want those problems.
Listen, look. I know everybody. You know, there's people that, oh, I love Flash. Hey, listen, I love Flash too. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is untouchable right now, yo. I'm sorry, it just is. I literally just watched this episode again before we started this. Holy shit, man.
I don't get it. They do so much in like an hour, not even.
Dude, I timed it. It's literally 42 minutes because
it's the exact time it's supposed to be.
Right, I had just enough time. Cause I started watching it at 8. We record this at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. I literally started watching the episode again at 8:45 p.m. And I was maybe like 2 minutes late. Maybe
so not even,
and that's with me skipping through most of the commercials, and a couple of times I had to rewind back to get certain lines and stuff like that, and pause a couple of times. So less than 45 minutes, and they not only just crammed in stuff with getting Mace, Anton, and all that stuff there. They even got some good flashbacks, like flashbacks of May and Coulson when they were both level 4 and level 3 that I didn't know I wanted, but now I need more of. I almost now want a prequel with early May and early Coulson before shit hits the fan, yo.
Well, you get to see that she came back for him, so he couldn't leave her behind, which I think is adorable. And also, Chris, you do realize that like everything we said we had a problem with, like the Superior not being defined, it all was part of the plan.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I too would also like to apologize.
I apologize
to the Whedon family and to Marvel as a brand, a label, and a motherfucking crew.
Yeah, that's my fault for ever doubting.
That's on us. That's we apologize profusely.
We'll get into because you know what, like
I'm afraid to talk.
Coulson had the same.
Anything I say I like, I'm afraid they're going to take away from me. Anything I say I'm sick of, I'm afraid they're going to make ridiculously amazing.
Right. Oh my god, yo. Like, what do you want to start
at? Flash and Legends just like, they're like, nah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, we don't want them problems, yo.
What do you mean? No, I was just taking a week off. Why wouldn't you let's just, come on.
You got Gorilla City, though. I mean, that'll match up.
Look. And you're talking to someone who is admittedly going to freak out.
Oh, I'm excited as fuck for that.
Like, I'm really excited for that crossover, or for that two-parter, excuse me. But you don't want these shield problems.
No.
Y'all could have Grodd, Salivar, Wally could save the day himself, man. No.
We're not doing this tonight, guys.
You couldn't do it in an hour, I'll tell you that damn much right now. It'd have to be a two-parter.
Right.
And then just be, you may win off just volume, but for an hour, nah, man.
Yeah.
I'm following your lead because I don't know what to talk about in this one.
I don't even know where to go from here either. The first thing I have in there is the flashbacks, just because, like you said, they were adorable. And what I loved about it is, this is when Coulson was level 4. May was a level below him in level 3. And obviously got the levels, and we know what they were when the show started. So obviously this is years ago. But what really stood out to me was just how different they were in terms of their capabilities and behaviors. Like, Coulson is literally like almost borderline. He's that guy in the movie.
But you see the seeds of the Coulson we'd end up with.
Right. Exactly.
You see, like, he honed this, and with May, it's like watching a different person.
Because it's all before.
It's pre-Calvary.
It's pre-Calvary. She's laughing. She has jokes.
They're flirting in the field.
They're flirting in the field. Like it's like a completely and this is again beyond just the scenes themselves and how we love seeing these characters. The thing that makes this show so good is, and I think we talked about this last week or a couple weeks ago. Every actor and actress on this show has to play most of them have to play multiple versions of themselves. And so here we have Coulson and May that are different from anything we've seen before. Even this Coulson is still different than the Coulson we got in Iron Man. Because that was the same, like in Iron Man's Coulson was close to this Coulson, where it's just that government agent that you're just like, wait, this is nobody. This guy doesn't, who is this guy? Whose man is this, right?
Right.
And that's the closest we've got. But even that Coulson was still better than this one. And remember, there's something May even said that I really took it. She was like, you have like 9 different tells, and she tells him to wear sunglasses.
Yeah.
Bruh. Like, he used to do that. He used to wear sunglasses because he was, oh my God.
It makes so much, the whole thing. It just, it adds to it. And no one, I don't think any criticism I've read has claimed that this May Coulson connection came out of left field. But if there was that, you're getting the underpinnings now. Right. And it doesn't feel forced. It felt because it was directly tied to the Superior, which we'll talk about later on Coulson's ether speech.
Good God. He hit him with the Street Fighter. To me, it was Tuesday. Like, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Anyway.
You don't want these problems.
We'll get to
sorry. Yeah, but it tied directly to the mission we were on. It tied to the motivations of the entire season.
Yeah.
And the fact that all of it's a red herring is hilarious.
Yeah. And the funny thing about and it's something I don't think we've ever talked about either. You're right. Like, it could feel, and I think this is why nobody's ever written, no criticisms have been that the May Coulson thing has come out of left field. It's because they were, in any other show, they would have been together by the end of season 1. Because their chemistry together, especially the way they bonded around Sky/Daisy and being basically surrogate parents for her and stuff like that. And the way we say when we see the 3 of them together, that's mom, that's dad, and that's the daughter. We always feel that way. So they feel like a cohesive family unit. It's
been a unit from day one,
right? And it's been that way in the way that they react and the way they're close and the way they trust each other. It feels natural. So when you start getting this, hey, maybe there is something there. And again, I think any other show I'd have been the same way. It was like, wait, that comes out of nowhere. Like, matter of fact, last week we were just talking about this with we talked about it on Sunday with Amaya and Nate on Legends of Tomorrow. We're like,
right,
the fuck, they didn't set that up. There's no every other show that we watch does that. Like, it's one thing that I think the CW shows have a problem with because they've never gotten out of that one thing from their early tween days of forcing these relationships like everybody has to have a relationship all the time.
It's just a constant reminder that this is still the motherfucking CW, motherfucker. Like,
right.
We gave you Dawson's Creek.
Right.
Like, that's what it is.
Right. I mean, the longest relationship they developed was Felicity and Oliver, and even then, you have Felicity like just falling over Oliver the entire time. It was just a matter of time. With this, it was literally just developed as, hey, these are really close characters. They've been through a lot. And what you're seeing now is, oh, wow, there is underlying feelings there. And then this flashback goes, shit, Coulson was literally one civilian away from having that date. And that civilian turned out to be Andrew, who is the one that ended up marrying May. And yeah, so we see what happened there. Like, it's he even says at one point when he's talking to the Russians, he's like, well, more of a friend. He was like, you back up. Well, more of a friend, coworker. Although I'm feeling some tension, kind of sexual, but I'm afraid it might go south. Like, the entire thing was just so good, yo, so good. And it's just like the way they play off of each other. It really works out, yo. I really enjoyed that. even her teasing him about, did you really think I'd leave your defenseless ass behind? So.
Yo, I love the fact that he's like, so what level are you now? She says 3.
Yeah.
And because he knows he's a 4, he says classified.
Right.
Like, you dickhead. He just like, not a 4, not a 4, not a 4. 3, classified.
Right.
Can't take no more.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, she got on him from apparently they went undercover before, and she was talking about him
Yo.
fumbling the brawl. I was like, oh, come on, son. Come on.
I have what some would describe as game.
Right. Like I'm sorry, that is how it's done. I mean, this show plays the long game, and it is masterful how they've done it.
How'd they make her look so much younger?
Well, I mean, was it really that hard though?
That was my next point. You know she's 50, right?
I'm sorry, I think 52 at this point.
No, she can't be.
She's over 50. It's either 51 or 52 at this point. I'm not kidding.
This is a necessary diversion for all y'all. Like, who cares? This is a necessary diversion.
Yeah, no, I mean
53.
I'm sorry, excuse me, 53. Yeah, because she was 50.
What?
She was 50 like 2 seasons ago. I was like, wait a minute, no, she's way over that. Yeah, 53, yo, 53. 53. 53. Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. You're gonna like some people might go, oh well, they can do things with TV stuff. I've seen her in person. I've been at the table with her. She looks the same, folks. That's not TV magic.
That's a report from the front line. That's
yeah,
hard hitting investigative
live from the round tables. That is not TV magic. She looks that young. So throwing out there. And you know what the funny thing about it is? And I feel like this is the same for both Ming and Clark Gregg. Those flashbacks were them being themselves. Like, she's apparently the jokester on set.
And she screwed with Fitz when you were
oh my god, she was fucking with Ian the entire time, and she makes sexual comments, and the way she was in playing that level 3 in this flashback, that's how she is in real life. That's why she probably had so much fun doing it, because she got to finally really be herself on that. Yeah. So, yeah. So I love those, and I love how they set everything up. Not only did they set up this little Coulson May thing, but then we also tied into the larger thing of why the Superior is tracking Coulson, which again is something that we talked about before. We were worried about. We're like, well, the reveal of the Superior, that's
also underwhelming. And
yeah,
for everything else on the show that was hitting on all cylinders, I guess we were both a little cautious about it, and we were wrong as shit. But we'll get to that later. But I'll tell you what, man, when they bust in that room and he sees the wall, he's like, "This is on that Facebook." I was like, "That's a good point."
Yeah, no,
I don't really. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's my question. So, we also have this, we have these flashbacks of not flashbacks. The Superior, Anton has Mace, and Mace breaks out, and when did Mace get switched out?
That's the thing. We'll talk about that later when we try to build a timeline, but who knows when?
Yeah. Gotta ask about that. He did get his ass whooped by
someone got their ass whooped.
Well, I'm talking about when he first took a swing on when him and Anton try to go 1-on-1. When he was like, "I can stop you," and I was like,
"Oh, when he squared up."
Yeah, when he squared up. I mean, it was brave. It was brave.
I mean, overconfident.
I like the confidence.
But it reminds me, because we're doing the reading for Wolverine. It reminds me of a scene Wolverine's in the danger room with Cannonball. Mm-hmm. And he says, "That move took guts, kid." He takes him down, puts his claw suit there. Guts will get you killed.
Right.
Guts will get you killed. I was like, that's the truth to that shit.
Yeah, I mean, you can fight bravely, but not good. Not good. Mac and Fitz, Mac making good points about.
I disagree.
Well, no,
this is the only part of the episode I thought was a little off for me.
Okay.
Because with Mac, like I get that he's like, I feel like we've done and kind of maybe I'm just being overly critical because I like the character, but it was like he's overcome the well, should we be doing this thing? He's passed that Rubicon before.
Mm-hmm.
We've done that. The should we? And we're also like in the middle of this shit. So like to take Fitz to task that way felt like a step back for the character, and then for Fitz to let it get to him,
right?
I was like, man, I'm glad they had. I think it was good as a vehicle. It was good to illustrate the Simmons Fitz bond, which is obviously going to be a big thing going forward. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was done at the cost a little bit of both Fitz and Mac.
Yeah, I can get that. My thing with it is, I think Mac is always going to be that guy. Like Mac to me is the guy who is like your parents who still use a VCR and they don't want to get a DVD because they don't want that newfangled shit. Like that's how I feel with Mac, because Mac's always that way with Inhumans. He's that way with all the. He's not that guy, right? He's always been the analog guy. And so to him, he's just like, oh man, I mean, this is all nice and well, but you guys know y'all shouldn't have been fucking with this shit, right? Mm-hmm. You shouldn't have been. And with Fitz, I get why Fitz is still getting at Fitz. Because one, I think his dad is the whole thing with the LMD telling him about his dad, that's still getting to him. And two, yeah, this technically is all his fault.
All of
it. He went behind everybody's back and helped Radcliffe build Ada. And if they hadn't built... Now, granted, there's a lot of stuff here. If he hadn't built Ada, then they wouldn't have been able to save Agent May early on and all blah, 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 blah. But...
The Darkhold. And,
right.
And, yeah, man.
Right.
It's
a slippery slope. Yeah. But I understand why Fitz would be blaming himself. Because like I said, there's one point where he says, if... May is in this framework. Who knows how long she's been in there and what mindset she'll be in when she gets out. Like, she might be lost forever. Like, you got to think about it. Like, they're close. Like, this would be something different. I think it would be something different if it was Mace, right? Because they don't have that bond with Mace. But May, again, that's somebody who's been there since the beginning. If Fitz finds out that his creations, and not to mention that, it's also the framework that I'm assuming he had been working a little bit on the framework before too. I can see how that would devastate him. And Fitz he's always kind of been that guy when you think about it. So I get how it could throw off that episode, especially with everything else going on.
Yeah.
And maybe the timing wasn't right.
There's definitely room for that to happen. It's just, for me in the moment, I was like, eh.
Right. But also I love how the episode starts with the prototype framework with Daisy and Coulson fighting each other, like the Matrix.
I was like, his arm can do some crazy shit now.
Right. I'm like, wait, is this? That's the first thing I thought.
I was like, his arm is crazy.
Second thing I thought was, is this Danger Room?
Ooh.
I was like, they did a not Danger Room.
Look, they did
a not Danger Room.
They stay tweaking Fox, man. I don't tell you. They come right at their throats too, just like, Remember when y'all fucked with Danger Room? Yeah, man.
Right.
This is ours. It's fast.
Yeah.
We did it quick.
But then we get the idea that the framework is huge because Coulson's basically using. I love the subtle things they drop in here, like when they compared it to SETI that you don't opt into, that is basically using digital devices across the world, personal, like people's cell phones and stuff like that, to power this framework.
It's basically the U2 album that came on everyone's phone that one time.
Here you go.
How do I get this off?
Right. Hey, here, you want this U2 album? No, we actually don't want this album. Well, you're gonna have it anyway.
No one does.
Right. You take it anyway. Well, it could be worse. It could have been Nickelback, right?
Why would you even say, don't, Apple, I know you hear this, please. How about this? Little verse psychology. I love Nickelback. I love that. I hate Kendrick Lamar. Maybe that'll work.
Right. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, it makes you wonder just how big this framework is and what Radcliffe's overall goal is, because he was in it himself now. Like, he's now getting high off his own supply.
Well, he told them what the goal was when he looked the superior in the eye, whose name I've literally forgotten, does not matter.
Right.
He said, Ada's my proxy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So this is still allegedly his plan. We're getting flashes of shit with Ada I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
But this is still apparently, and that's interesting too, because for you and I, before we discussed it, we've said that, he's using them as a means to an end, excuse me. He's using them to get what he needs to get in the framework for Ada's template.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're like, oh, shit. Remember when he said that he just didn't want anyone to die anymore? He may have actually meant that shit.
Mm-hmm. And
he's willing to go to all sorts of lengths to prove it.
Yeah. I mean, like, Anton Redshirt calls him out and was like, you're spending all your time in this device. And he's like, I gave you what you want. I'm giving you what you want. I have what I want. Ada will help you with everything else. You don't need me anymore. Let me do me. You know? So, I think once the shoe drops of what Radcliffe has done here, and when we get to the end, and Ada's basically telling Redshirt that, hey, you still have a purpose to serve.
Oh no! She's not telling him you have a purpose to serve. She's telling him, I remember what you said to me.
Yeah.
Here it is verbatim.
Right.
Because I've got emotions now.
Yeah,
like, that shit was chilling as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I really was like, ooh. And that's, but you're right. But also something that interesting in that scene is we learn that when he goes to pull Radcliffe out, Ada says, you'd be shredding the mind.
Right. So
if we see someone get pulled out of this motherfucker,
they're done.
It's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's this Chekhov's unplugging, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've established what it does. Now they've got to show you what it does.
Yeah. No, I'm very, yeah. I'm very, 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 very worried about that. And like you said, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad for somebody. Let's see. I guess we get right into Coulson not having time for Anton's games, yo.
That was the meanest speech ever.
I have no idea who the hell you are.
Like, it was so mean. Like, I was like, hey, Coulson, damn, man.
You know the great thing about this, too, is Coulson goes, because the entire time we're doing the flashbacks, you know they're going after 084. You're like, okay, cool. I wonder what it is. So you're in their mind, you're racing in your mind what it could possibly is.
It was such great misdirection by this show. It was like, don't you want to know? Don't you want to know? Don't you want to know?
Right. And then Coulson goes, I don't remember the mission. I don't remember what we were trying to get because I've been on hundreds of other missions and they never tell you what May and Coulson got and that in the thing. And maybe at some point they will, but I kind of like the fact that they don't and just make it go like, this is just a random mission to them. This is just another one.
This is Tuesday.
Yeah, this is just another random mission for May and Coulson. And while it devastated Anton and made him into the man he is today, Coulson don't even remember it. As far as I'm concerned, you're just another red shirt like so many others that tried unsuccessfully to stop me, to stop me from saving the world. Because that's what I do. So cool origin story, bro. But this means nothing to me. And he
ain't shit, your mom ain't shit, your family ain't never gonna be shit. Like,
he called him a red shirt. Like, dog.
Yeah, we make those jokes in here all the time. He's like, you're literally a red shirt. You do not matter.
Oh man. And
then he turns his back on him.
Right, and then he lets Daisy handle his light work.
Yo,
he's
Daisy.
Like, he's like, you mean nothing to me. But her, on the other hand, she has beef with you.
She wants to have a conversation.
Right, and then walks off. Like, dude, this is up there with like that scene in Indiana Jones where the one guy shows up and Indiana Jones just pulls his gun out and shoots him.
Yeah,
like that's what that was. It was just like, man, I don't got time for this shit, man. Wait, are you telling me that only Mason's here and May in here? Oh man, fuck it. Why am I wasting my time with you? You know, and
why would you tell me what I want to know up front?
Right. And
now I can just leave. I don't need to talk to you anymore.
And it works so well because that's what we were all thinking. We're all like, and again, from when we got the information in this episode, it makes sense why Anton is all on Coulson. It makes sense. Like he has a personal connection. His unit was assigned to bring back that 084. They didn't. His friends, his comrades were killed because of it. All because Coulson and May took this 084, and he spent his entire life trying to track Coulson down and make him pay, all for Coulson to go, dude, I don't remember who the fuck you were.
And that's how you treat Russians who are trying to kill you. You don't befriend them and invite them in your seats of power. You tell them, fuck you, you red shirt, I'm out. And you let Daisy fuck them up. The analogy fell apart somewhere in there. I'm not entirely sure where.
The other great thing about that too is I was thinking that okay, Daisy's gonna fuck him up and not use her powers. Then she started using her powers. I was like, oh no, she should use her powers because he thinks he's superior than that. And she basically hit him with the mutant line of, oh no, we're the next evolution. You're the late model. Let me show you how this really works.
She basically called him a flat scan gene trash. Right. Like she's like, I think first of all, flat scan needs to come back now at this point.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
And Dave's just like, you gene joke, you genetic dead end. Like I'm just like, what? And then she dropped a building on him.
She dropped the building on him.
I was like, oh shit, because I thought you were gonna keep throwing him around because she threw him around a lot with her powers, and then when she decided it was over, it was over.
Right. And I love that everyone. I love that it's the again. Remember, Mace is the one who fought him first and got his ass kicked. Mace ain't part of the. Mace ain't the core team.
Mace is not a fighter, dude.
He's not a fighter. Yeah, he's a pencil pusher. He has fake powers. None of that shit. Right. When it comes to the core team, Coulson took the punch first. Then was like, all right, cool, you sucker punched me. All right, let's see what's going on here. You want to fight? Wait a minute, I don't know who the fuck you are. I'm not doing this. I'm gonna let my girl whoop your ass.
You know who wins the fight? The person who wants to fight the most.
Right.
I don't want to fight you. She does.
Right.
I have no beef with you. I don't know who you are.
Like the disrespect they showed.
It was the meanest thing I've ever seen someone do. Because it wasn't just like, oh, it wasn't like insulting. It was dismissive. It was like, doesn't ring any bells, man. Sorry. I don't know.
A butcher doesn't seek forgiveness for the animals he slaughters. Every animal farm? Like, just... Oh, man. Like, it was just... It's the perfect way. It's how you deal with people going, yeah, man, I just don't know about this guy. I don't know about this villain. He just doesn't seem like he's up to snuff. I don't know what we got going on here. And them going, all right, cool. We got you. We'll take care of that.
No, it's not even saying that we got you. It's saying, interesting observation.
Right.
Enjoy the show.
Right. Right.
It's just like,
just keep watching.
They must laugh at us.
Yeah, just keep watching.
Huh. Is that what you think? Well, I think you'll enjoy this week's. Because they're cocky bastards.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yes, they do. Anything else before we get into the
topic? Oh, yes. We have... Davis will be with me. That makes you feel much less safe. That makes you feel marginally better. I can hear you.
Right.
And then them making labyrinth jokes, but I thought was nice. Little Bowie nod.
The Goblin Kid, yes. Yeah. God. Like they threw so many of those kind of jokes in here. The Bond villain jokes.
Oh yeah.
When they were like, oh yeah, of course he has a base with the submarine thing, because like any good Bond villain. And then later on, I think Coulson said, like in that same scene, Coulson goes, "We got to be prepared for anything, even like dolphins with like sharks with laser in their head." He said something like that. I'm like,
yeah, he made an Austin Powers joke.
Right. I'm just like, God, like this shit is serious, guys.
It's serious to us, Chris. Apparently. For Coulson, just another Tuesday.
Just another Tuesday. Just another day. Just another day of the office. You know. Oh man, so good. Like this episode was just
It had everything, including Shotgun Act, which I always.
Oh yeah.
Every appearance is a win.
I will say that if there's one thing I will say about the show, we don't get nearly enough Shotgun acts. But
how much is enough, though? Honestly, when would we be happy? Because my answer's never.
Valid. Yeah, I mean, just you always need at least as much.
The only dangerous amount of shotgun acts is none.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, 100%, 100% on that one. So, all right, let's do this timeline thing.
Tell me. Do you want me to tell you mine?
Who's your 4?
Okay. When Ada looked in and saw Mace getting beat up, he'd already been replaced.
Yes.
That was a Robo Mace getting beat up.
I believe he got replaced. Yeah. I believe he was replaced after the first time Anton beat him, because when Anton fights him the first time, he thinks he's an Inhuman. The second time, he's like, he knows he's not an Inhuman. I'm like, well, how do you know now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So when Mac comes to get him, they replace Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Coulson meets up with him. They replace Coulson. Daisy's last.
So do you think Daisy's replaced?
Yeah, Daisy's replaced.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because Daisy's a question where I know the thing says 4 when they're all in there.
Oh, can we talk about that scene in a second too? Yeah. After this?
Yeah. I know it says that. My thing is, Simmons was separated as well. So was Fitz. Everybody.
I still think Fitz is one.
Yeah, I still think Fitz is one too. Either Fitz is one or Simmons is one. Because Simmons went off. Remember, her and the other guy, they separated too.
No, it's definitely not Simmons, because she was with Davis the whole time.
No, she wasn't.
She's the only one I'm sure.
No, she wasn't though.
Oh, they split up for a while. You're right.
They did split up.
That was what they did, because originally they. Okay, can I just talk about the brilliance of the show for a second?
Mm-hmm.
So they split everyone up.
Mm-hmm.
They bring them all back together, and so in the back of everyone's mind is, who's the LMD?
Mm-hmm.
We figure there's 1 or 2 or however many. We say, who is it? 7 episodes ago,
mm-hmm.
they did the same trick with May.
Yep.
Except we knew,
mm-hmm.
and the tension was, when are they gonna find out? We went into this thinking the new tension will be, who's the LMD?
Right.
The show's like, nah, fuck that, dog. We don't do mystery. So what they've done in this show, this season, I just want to go through what this show has been. It's been a chase sequence early, where they were chasing Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was a ticking clock,
mm-hmm.
with him trying to get them out of that hell dimension. Then it was the heroic sacrifice. Then it was a taut thriller on how they figure out whether May is the LMD. Then it becomes a legitimate, straight-up spy show again, because we figure out there's another LMD, and we don't know who to trust.
Mm-hmm.
And next week, they're turning it into a horror movie.
Right.
42 minutes. What episode is this?
This is 14. So next episode is 15.
14.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, because I just pulled the screen cap up. It says 4 life model decoys detected, but above that it says compile all report totals.
Right. And so that's my thing. So hear me out. All right. So it could be it could be Daisy, but
Mm-hmm.
Daisy easy to figure out. You just check her powers. Or other thing too is her shoulder. The thing about Daisy, she wasn't grabbing her shoulder. She started grabbing her wrist. So I'm not sure. Like after they get back in,
I think it's all 4 of them. Honestly,
I think so. I think that's probably the safe bet. Because
the timeline just fits for all 4 of them.
Right, it does. But it could be, if you're going through the entire episode assuming that Daisy is one. Because here's the thing, when you and I hate bringing things up from the preview of the next episode. When you watch the preview of the next episode, they only show you 3 of them. They only show you 3 of them in the actual framework thing. They show you Mac, Coulson, and Mace.
You see May too.
And you see May. So you see ones that you think you know already.
Good catch.
So, like I said, wouldn't it be fucked up if you're going the entire episode thinking that clearly Daisy's one of them, and it turns out she's not? Because they go, we need to replace the other 2. Cool. Your mind is going, they're trying to replace Fitz and Simmons. what if they already? What if one of the Simmons ones don't know that they're replaced already? What if Fitz again? What if it's Fitz and Fitz has already been replaced? Well, then technically, yeah, compiled all reports means that Fitz came through first. He's one. 3 of the ones that are there, that's 4 total right there. So again, I think the safe bet is to obviously go with what they showed us. But this show has done such a great job of making us question what we've already seen with our own eyes. I can't trust that.
Right.
I can't. Like,
you're right.
Because to me, because here's the thing. I love this episode. The ending was weird to me because there wasn't supposed to be a mystery. And by the end of the episode, well, we know all 4 are LMDs. Well, that's not how the show goes.
That's the best way to throw off mystery is stop looking for it.
Right. That's not the way this show never goes that way. They never tell us everything, or they leave us with something that's a big reveal. Here, the big reveal then was, oh, well, LMD Coulson brings out LMD May. Well, that makes sense. We knew that was going to happen. You know?
Yeah.
So, what's really going on here? So, like I said, safe bet, easy bet is to say it's the 4 that walked in. It's all of them there. The fucked up bet, again, because here's the other thing too. What if it is Simmons, right? Mm-hmm. Simmons has access to all the reports. They come to
Chris. If it's not Simmons, they have the director, they have the acting director in Coulson, and they have what's basically deputy director Mace. Because every time Coulson goes down, who gets the keys? Fuck, Mac.
Yeah.
Like Simmons is the least of our concern.
Yeah, they have everybody. Like
they have the upper, and we've always spoken about how close Daisy is to the throne. Let's say they've got all 4 of those. They don't need clearance.
Yeah, they don't. Oh no, I was talking about clearance in terms of, Simmons has clearance. She gets the reports for the LMD detector. That's how she could do it. So technically, like, why did it go off all of a sudden and tell her that, was she running a search on her? Like, again,
no,
I'm just saying.
No, Fitz was running the search and said that it was off, right? Wasn't it Fitz? Or was I wrong?
No, he said it went off, but I'm like, all of a sudden it went off to let them know that it had been, like I said, I see
what you're saying. I took that to mean someone had turned it off.
Yeah, well, no, I know somebody had turned it off, but why did all of a sudden it get an alert at that moment? You know, and again, like I said, I would not be surprised if there's if they've done a little they have a little surprise for us next week in that one of the ones we think is an LMD is not. Again, and to me, because again, to me, Daisy's the easy one. If she uses her powers, well, she's not an LMD.
Yeah, they don't show that till happen. If they don't show it till like the 30-minute mark, that'd be really good. Yeah, you're right.
And another thing too is that and because the Daisy thing is weird to me because one, remember she even though she has the gauntlets on, her bone her wrist still hurt and her bone still hurt from using her powers. So when she comes back, when they're coming back and they're getting back to the onto the Zephyr, she's grabbing her wrist and stuff like that, like her bones hurt. Again, you could technically, program your LMD to do that.
But, particularly because they're locked into the framework.
Exactly. So that could be that definitely could come from there. The other thing too is, did she get stabbed in the shoulder, and did they make sure when they created their bodies that she stabbed in the shoulder? Because Anton stabbed her in the shoulder. So that's something to also keep an eye out for as well. And we just don't know. So those are the 2 things that to keep an eye out for. Because while they were there, and again, they did a really good job. The entire time I thought, I think I even tweeted this. I was like, I thought maybe they're going to find out that they were all in the framework.
Yeah, you did tweet that, yeah. And they are kind of. Just what we were seeing.
Yeah. So,
we're getting a framework episode, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, we got to. Somebody's got to go into the framework. Somebody's got to go into the Matrix.
We got to just meet them there. Because they're going to track down, because they're still going to hunt him inside their framework.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. Like I said, I for 90% of the episode, I was just like, wait, they're probably in the framework. What if they went in and they got hit with gas?
I see what you're saying.
The entire time. Like because again, that's how they keep May under wraps. They give him what she wants. You know, it's like I don't know. It's well done, man. Well fucking done.
Just really well done.
He got me over here questioning everything. Well fucking done.
It's like 42 minutes.
Yeah, can't believe it. Can't believe it. Like I don't know another show that crams all that in and doesn't feel like it's jumping around. Like, look, I watch Game of Thrones and them, or I used to watch The Walking Dead. Like they cram a lot of stuff in there too, but there's a lot of jumping around where the pieces don't feel like they all fit together. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. puts everything together into one episode in 42 minutes, and it's all related, yet all like it's masterful TV. I'm sorry. I think more and more people should be watching this because it's great. It gives you everything that you said, and like you said, like you've broken down this season. There have been different themes, and episode 15 is supposed to be where we get the holy shit moment where we find out what the third arc is, and I have no idea where they're going with it.
I was gonna say, how do you resolve where we are in an hour?
I wouldn't put it past them. Like
you know the season has to end now, right? Though
how?
With him opening a final pod and finding a fully functional LMD award, and next season they have to work alongside a completely trustworthy LMD of someone they absolutely hate.
Man, listen, if they bring back Brett Dalton, y'all, I'm gonna fucking.
That'd be nuts.
I would love it, and that would be awesome. Don't get my hopes up like that.
All right, you're right.
Get the band back together.
Let's get the band back together, man. Come on.
Yeah. Oof, yeah, so good.
It's not an email, but I have feedback.
Okay.
From Susan Berry. I'm catching up on my recaps. This wasn't an email. This was a Facebook message that may or may not devolve into a series of threats. I'm catching up on my recaps, and I'm going to need you to stop killing off people. Why do you constantly want to kill all the characters I love? Stop wishing their deaths or I will have to come after you. Yes, I understand how different our statures, but I will find a way. You have been warned. My reply was, I'm sorry. She said it was not accepted. You do this on purpose at this point. I then said, I'm going to read this on the show, right? She said, now I hate you more. I didn't know it was possible. You're a bad juju for the DC universe. I said, DC is bad juju for DC. I'm just here eating popcorn, watching the flames. Doesn't matter. You still ruined it for me and everyone else who doesn't want our favorite characters killed off. I told you to stop that shit last summer, and you keep doing it. Thank you for the feedback. It's not on us. We don't kill these people.
Nope.
We just tell you where the story looks like it's going to us.
Yeah, we just point out what could happen. I'm just saying.
And occasionally,
we're right.
We might be a little bit right.
Now, if somebody wants to start paying us for this, I mean,
I'll stop killing people who fans.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, that reminds me. If you're not a premium member, join premium. $8 a month. Great new MTR branded content, and you get us one step closer to making sure Chris sings an autotune for everyone to commemorate the musical crossover episode between Supergirl and The Flash.
Oh yeah, there is that. Forgot about.
I'm just saying, like, I could be convinced to stop killing people if this song happens. Tell your friends, friends.
Yeah. Anyway, I got another email. I got to email myself. Latoya emails in. This is my feedback for last night's episode. Holy shit, guys. That is all. Which I think is a valid.
Succinct and effective.
Yeah, very, very valid. Very valid feedback for that shit. Yeah, I don't think we had any 5-star reviews.
No new 5 stars.
All right, remember, guys, 5-star reviews on our iTunes, Super Tuesday recap feed. We'll read them on air. They also help us just get out there too as well. So, and help the podcast grow. So, you got anything else you want to say about this one, man?
No, man. I don't know how they did it, and they continue to do it. And this is my favorite hour of the week at this point, because I know that whatever you want to say, any criticism you may have had of this show in the past, they figured out. They cracked the code. They give you a perfect hour of television every week. It's action-packed. It's funny. It moves, and it doesn't get bogged down on I don't know if we're doing this for the right reasons. No, they decide on a course of action and get it done. Just bravo to everyone, and I apologize to the Whedons for ever doubting, even for a moment.
You know what's crazy about this show right now? This is the second arc they've done this season, and this with LMDs. The first arc had fucking Ghost Rider.
I've completely forgotten it. It doesn't even matter to me anymore.
The first arc had Ghost Rider, and you're like, oh, that's right. Ghost Rider was on this show earlier. Not just one, two Ghost Riders were on this show early in the season and might come back. I just, we've been so busy lately, I've kind of forgotten. Like, that's how good this show is. When you can throw Ghost Rider on TV, then go into something, and then go into your second arc and be like, oh shit, that's right, we did have Ghost Rider.
Also, like, another tip, I'm sorry I'm going to keep commenting the show, because you could just kind of, like, tiptoe into LMDs. You replace 4 agents at once. This is a cannonball into the world of LMDs. This is right into the deep end.
And the other crazy thing about it is, they told us this was going to happen. Remember the teaser?
They told us.
Remember the teaser had like the May and everybody else was blanked out. They told us that eventually they were going to try to replace everybody. We're like, sure, okay, one at a time or not. Nope, nope.
They called their shot.
Came right in, replaced 4. Oh man, and next week's gonna be a horror episode. And oh god, I can't. Like, I almost feel like we need a. Like, are they back next week? 'Cause I almost feel like we need a break next week for them. Like, because this is not.
They're taking another break though, aren't they?
Not next week.
I don't think it's next week, but I think they're taking another break this season, like after 15, maybe.
So far, yeah, maybe. No, maybe not.
In my head,
they need to
give us a damn break.
Yeah, they need to.
This is that was an exhausting hour of television.
It really is.
I was tired afterwards. Nope, we're back next week. 15's back next week. Let me see something else. I'm just checking this. Now you got me curious. 15. Someone's listed left. It's 15th next week, but it's the 21st. So.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I don't even know what to say anymore, yo.
They just do these things, and they kill this. They do it really well, and I'm really impressed. And yeah, Self-Control is the episode next week. Like, they're doing 8 episodes. They're doing 8, 7, and I guess 7, because Ghost Rider was 8, and this will only be the 7th episode of LMDs. It feels like it's taken 2 years. Mm-hmm. It's been flat out horrifying. And next week's is written and directed by Jed Whedon.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they brought the biggest of guns.
Good luck, guys. Lots of luck.
He's saying that to all of us. This is next week may be a support group, guys.
Yeah, it might be a support group, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Super Tuesday recap. There was no Flash this week, so check out the second Super Tuesday recap podcast that will be up this week. Is gonna be a rant about certain movie universes from Fox and DC. So you're not gonna want to miss that one, guys. We were gonna put it at the end of this one, but then Deepon suggested we just go ahead and make a separate podcast. So you're gonna want to listen to that shit. So all right, folks. Thank you guys very much for listening. Super Tuesday recap on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, mtrnetwork.net. Get all the other stuff there. Emails mtrailerreviews@movietrailerreviews.net. Until next time, we're out of here. Peace.